What's up, guys? Tugi here, back again with my Quebec City Nordiques franchise mode on NHL 17. And in this episode, we go through the rest of the Season 4 off-season. After a great draft in the last episode, we now look to get this team set up for what will hopefully be another interesting playoff run. Now, goalie-wise, I think we'll look to re-sign Markstrom. He's not even looking for that much. He was pretty good for us in the playoffs as well. We'll see if we can get him on a slight discount. And then Helmerson, a goalie we drafted a few years ago, needs his entry-level deal. So who knows if Adam Warner or Helmerson will be the backup. I am leaning towards trading Adam Warner because he is 23. Looking at the defense, it is Rasmus Andersson needing a contract. We'll sign him, but man, I'm not sure how much longer he'll be in our system. 23 years old. He's yet to, well, he has cracked an 80 overall. Right now it might be a morale thing, but we can get him on essentially another entry-level deal until he's 26, which would be great. Karpovtsev, who is a 72 at 21 years old, needs a contract, low 7th D, and I think we're going to let him go. We'll let him go. He is not good enough, or not promising enough to make this team. Tommy Hedberg, who we acquired last year, though, is a different story. We'll look to get him on another 3-year deal. Let's see, Calvis, low AHL. Yeah, low AHL top 2. We'll let him go for sure. Same thing with Pietronero. You tried to just geez, you know what? I'm just going to stop talking. I totally would. Totally would if I could get away with it. My God. My God. I'm not pronouncing that name either because he's gone. Who cares? He's not an NHL player. Jesus, is that it? We got 2 more. Duchesne and Grolu. Yeah, they're both going as well. So, as you can tell, prior to that last draft, we had some tough times. But things are looking up as long as the morale system does us a few favors. Jesse Puljujarvi's an 88, which is very nice, and he needs his first contract. Now, Winnipeg was lucky in terms of getting Patrick Laine for the price they got him for. And if we go 3 years, we could go 5.8. I'm actually going to try 5.7. Not too big of a discount, but it could be a factor. Mats Olsson needs a deal as well, and we could get him for as cheap as we wanted, for as long as we wanted, which is probably a sign that he is not going to progress too much for the rest of the way. So I'll actually only give him the 1-year deal that he is looking for. Left wings, Matthew Tkachuk had a huge year for us. He finally stepped up. That was crucial to our success, and we will look to get him for 4 years at 7.8. Again, Vlasic had to go. Michael Grabner is out the door. Dwight King is out the door. Thank you guys for allowing us to get the number 2 overall pick. And then centers, Michael Dowcall also needs a new contract. You know what, 4 years, maybe 5.6. I could probably go cheaper, but we'll go there. And then Nick Kerdiles also needs a deal. It's his last year of development, but he is shaping up to be our 4th-line center for a considerable amount of time, and we'll look to go 1.9 at 3 years. And then, of course, the main man, Isaac Lutzer, who will sign once we move forward. I'm not going to sign him now. I don't want to lock up that cap space just yet. We'll see what happens. I mean, we're definitely going to sign him, but I want to leave our options open in this offseason, and of course make sure that we get everybody else signed. Markstrom is back, Kerdiles is back, Helmerson, Anderson, Dowcall, Tkachuk, Hedberg, and Puljujarvi, Mats Olsson, and I believe that was it. We will double check, but things are looking good for us. We'll just have to hope that Chychrun can step up in absence of Marc-Edouard Vlasic, and we are going to need a new 3rd line or a 3rd pairing left defenseman. All expiring contracts, UFAs, RFAs. We are good to go to the start of the re-sign phase, and we still had, what, $8.9 million in cap space, which is looking very good for us right about now. So let's move forward and see if there are any big fish free agents. Now, obviously, our hands are kind of tied here. There's only so much we can do. A lot of our success and a lot of what our roster is going to be really depends on the progression of a lot of our prospects, as it normally does. But let's take a look here, and my God, that's Yossi and Pietrangelo are both available. God damn. That is a pretty good free agent class. Now, I think the best way to approach this is to probably see who the best prospects are. And right now, it's funny, Julien Gauthier is there, and he might actually be the best prospect, but he's an RFA, and I don't necessarily want to sign an RFA. Like, if we were to go for him, what would it cost? A second-round pick. That is not happening. Brendan Perlini is there as well. That would also cost? Pretty similar. Adam Earn is there. Do we have any younger guys? Fisher's looking for a shitload of money. I'm not liking our chances of getting a huge prospect here. We have Tarasov here. That might be decent at low top 9. Nobody really jumping off the page, though, as a must-get. Defensively, Darnell Nurse is a restricted free agent again. We could go for him. What would we have to give up? Probably a second, right? Yeah, so sorry, Darnell. We're not going back for you, but there is Stefan here, who is a likely target. Vaclav Stefan, a second-round pick of the Dallas Stars a few years ago. So I'm not quite sure what we'll do. Maybe I'll make a big play for somebody, but probably not. Now, guys, as far as what we're doing in free agency, we're going to offer Tarasov and Stefan contracts. That falls under the 2 out of 3 category, the guidelines that we had set. As far as big-time skaters, forwards, there's nobody to approach. We already have people that are going to presumably be better. The big thing was, my God, I want to offer Roman Josi a deal, and it might even be the same situation as having Vlasic and flipping him, but it's tough because I don't, is that kind of cheap? I feel like that's kind of cheap. If I were to sign Josi, knowing I'd probably get rid of him after 1, maybe 2 years max. I feel like that would be way too cheap. I want to do it desperately, but I'm going to hold off, and I think we'll probably have to look. There's nobody else in free agency that fits what we need. We need a left-handed defenseman for that third pairing. So I'll probably go once the rosters are set and take a look at who we can pick up. But Stefan and Tarasov have both signed. So I think, and again, I want to get Josi so badly. So badly. I don't believe he's signed anywhere yet. But I have to do what I feel is right for this series, so we will sim forward to the pre-season with much regret. Now, guys, as I'm sure you would have come to expect from me by now, we have some trades to make. The first man on the chopping block is going to be Adam Werner. We actually had a decent bit of growth from Helmerson. He'll be the backup to Kozanov. And let's see, we'll actually try to offload him to the Anaheim Ducks. That seems like it would be a good fit. How about a third and a fifth? That looks pretty much in our favor, and it definitely is, as they won't take it. How about a sixth, please? Hey, that works. Adam Werner for a third and a 6th round pick. I am very happy with that, actually. Now, our next trade, and it's a pretty big one. We get a ton of picks from Montreal, and honestly, their response makes me think I could have gotten more, but we needed to get rid of some contract spots, and it's a massive change for Cleveland, but these 3 guys, I don't think they're going to make it. Rasmus Anderson, still under an 80 overall at 23 years old. Carlson, I think, is a 78 at 23 years old. Cypher's low top 6 at 21 is the odd man out. So we get rid of some very good defensive depth in Cleveland, but I think all three guys are going to fall just short of the NHL level, and we get some draft picks from Montreal. But again, their response makes me wish I had tried to get more. Now, this next trade kind of sucks, but again, it was a matter of having too many people, and unfortunately, these two were the odd men out. It is Paul Bittner and Mats Olsson going to Chicago for their next 2 second-round picks. More trades involving players on their way out, and first up it is Marty Beach, who was the backup left wing in Cleveland last year. He is off to Carolina for a 5th and a 7th round pick. Mario Labruyere is on his way to Calgary for their next 2 4th round picks. Daniel Veleshnicek is on his way to Montreal for a 4th and 6th round pick. And our final trade, it is Nick Suzuki, who is an odd man out. He is off to the Islanders for a 3rd, 5th, and 6th round pick. Once again, the team is set as we are ready for Season 5. I'll give you a look at the ratings. 95, 95, 91. In the AHL, 79, 74, and 77. But when it comes to the NHL team, if we don't win, I'm going to jump off a bridge, probably. Just a fair guess. Here is the team. Matthew Tkachuk still in 91, Duchesne still in 88, Puljujarvi in 88, legit first-line forward at 22 years old. And then the second line is where it gets interesting. What a trade this was. Oh my God. Stan Kaigorodov, now a legit second-line forward, 87 overall at 21 years old. Incredible. For Carl Alsner. Unbelievable. He is centered by Michael Dal-Coll and Patrick Laine. Don't forget. Problem is, here's the deal. I'll just show you the rest first. We have Nikolai Ehlers, 84 overall, 2nd overall pick. Isaac Lutzer and Dmytro Timashov is there as well. And on the 4th line, because of the trades of Bittner and Olsen, it is Vitaly Abramov with Kurdiles and Stenlund. We chose Abramov and Stenlund over Bittner and Olsen. Here's the thing. Line A is a first-line player. Ehlers is a second-line player. So Ehlers right now has power play time, but what do we do? Like, do we just, I want to keep all of these guys for sure. It's a great problem to have. Ehlers, has to stay on the 3rd line, although I'm sure he'll have a great year. And like I said, we'll have him on the power play to kind of offset that. But then, Line A, Puljujarvi, and it puts Line A on the top line over Puljujarvi, which might be a good idea because he has a little bit better of a shooting category. But just unbelievable. We have to have Kaigorodov on the off wing, and same here. We have Timashov on the off wing, a left-handed shot on the right side. What a problem to have. That top 9 is great. And then like I said about Vitaly Abramov, he is NHL ready with his stats. It's just the physical category that keeps him down. Defensively, we have Carlson and Jones. Jones, by the way, has max trade value, which is pretty nice. Chychrun has jumped up to an 87, so he's good to go, and it's a good thing we didn't get Yossi. But the third pairing, we're going to start off with Ralph Jarrett, who has grown to top 6. The question is whether or not he can get it done. But you know what? We drafted him, so we're going to give him a chance. He is with Julius Bergman, who's down to an 83. As you can see, he's taken a pretty hard hit from the morale problems, trading people away. And that's the thing, a lot of these guys could actually be better than what they are. The goalie, of course, 90 overall, Joonas Korpisalo. In the last year of his good contract, we're going to have to pay next year to keep him. And then, of course, Markstrom is the backup. The good thing is, though, we have plenty of cap space. We no longer have any retained salaries. Things are looking pretty damn good for us in the future. Jumping, though, to the AHL, where, again, things are looking pretty damn good. We had to make some sacrifices, but I love the way this team looks right now. We have Ralston, Allen, Lyjarczyk. I'm going to still call him Allen, but god damn it, that name. And Gabriel Velarde. Second line is McDonald, who was great last year with Sean Morrow and our free agent signing Victor Tarasov. And then we have Ryan Peters, the American sniper, with Rodin and Gord Henry. And on the fourth line, Evan Tambellini with Krivicic and Cole Lind. Now, as backups, we actually have 3 other forwards signed. Those would be Nolan Persaud, who we just drafted, Zach Matthews, who we just drafted, and where is the last one? He must be a left wing, and indeed he is. It is J.C. Donovan, also just drafted. We will hope to get them some playing time this year, but I really like the look of this team. It's all about getting some solid guys in there, and I'm intrigued to see what they can do. Defensively, though, is where we took the biggest hit, trading away Anderson, Carlson, and Cyphers. The top D pairing is now Voinov and Cale Fleury. Tommy Hedberg is with Vaclav Stefan, a free agent signing. And then the weak link is Preston DeLuca, who of course was a third-round pick that we just took. He is going to be with Henry Yokiharu. Originally, it was going to be Lowry, but unfortunately, he had to be sent back to junior, being a CHL player. The depth guys right now are Spencer Zacharias for the left-handers and Larry Blake for the right side in case of injury. And the goalie, of course, is Sergei Kozanov, being backed up by Tomas Helmerson, a fourth-round pick from 2018 with Adam Warner now gone. So those are the lineups. This team is really now in a place where I am just so happy with it. I mean, like I said, is it the most realistic to have Kachuk, Dalcol, Puljujärvi, Laine? No, it isn't. But I can't say I'm not happy with the team. This team's amazing. It's just a matter of where we slot people in. Like I said, we could go best lines. I actually won't. But, it puts Laine there, Puljujärvi, Kaigorodov, and Ehlers. They're all top 2 to top, first line. So it's like, who do we have off the first line that should be there? And of course, we have Ehlers on the third line when he should be a second line guy. But look at who's on the second line: Kaigorodov and Dalcol. He can't knock one of them down. Of course, Isaac Lutzer's here. It's a great team. I cannot wait to see what they do this season. Of course, we're hoping for a big year. And really the biggest question mark is Ralph Jarrett. What will he do for us in his rookie year? And if he's not good enough, like I said, we have plenty of cap space to make something work. And actually, I will get you an exact number as we wrap up this episode. And as we wrap up the offseason, we, of course, move into Season 5 in the next one. We have just under $10 million in cap space right now. And you get a look at some of these trade values. It is absolutely insane, the team that we have right now. So 9.67 to be specific. And of course, we have plenty of draft picks that we will we'll actually have to offload quite a few of them, but we'll worry about that when the time comes. But guys, that will do it for this episode. Let me know down in the comments below before we start the sim what you think the line combinations should be. Again, we can work it around throughout the season, especially if we are struggling. And let me know too, how long of a leash should we give Ralph Jarrett? If he's struggling after the first 10, first 20, if he's struggling, when should we look to go and get somebody else? But guys, like I said, that'll do it for this one. Let me know down in the comments below what you think. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It would be greatly appreciated. And like I always say, you would have done that already, but I gotta add it. It's one of those YouTuber things you have to say. Anyway, I don't want to get off on a side tangent because I've enjoyed this episode, and now's a great time to wrap it up. So again, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.